Welcome to Deus Ex Invisible War.
We should leave.
It is time to end this all where Deus Ex began.
Let's go.
You have proven to be a great ally, Alex. JC looks forward to opening a new era in human history with you by his side.
It is time for Liberty Island. I did spoil it with the thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie there. There she is. Recreated in nanite form. I believe...
I cannot watch over you anymore because I am needed elsewhere. Here is a map of the island. Good luck, Alex.
Alex, Paul has already joined me inside the statue. Before my machine will work, however, we need the Aquinas protocol specification from a computer on the lower level of UNATCO. Yes, the machine taps into MJ12's old network, but this time the network will be a tool for everyone.
Ow!
The bot's been shut down. That's strange. I will be victorious.
I did not see that bot there.
Alex, I'm on the North Dock. Come see me.
I did not expect that robot. We did get dumped right into the middle of things. That's it. That's the primary statue entrance. There's a gray up front to guard it. I think this is, yes, this is the old cot that was out front. Very, very similar to how it was in the original. You had this building out front. Tong said he wants to meet us at the north entrance. That was an Illuminati. Turn around. Oh, this is the old UNATCO headquarters. Yep.
Alex, I'm here. I took cover in the comm van. Let's talk. Time to decide who we're gonna bring down first.
That's the old UNATCO building. Anyway, what was that? Near the UNATCO ruins. He's in an old van. We did help Leo escape. Yeah, that's the old UNATCO building there. This is their security room. Ah, there you are, Leo. This is their old security room. Used to be the old comm tower here. They did a pretty good job recreating it, to be honest.
I'm freezing my ass off out here. The Omar shut down my Enviro suit remotely. What are we gonna do?
They're searching for data that will let them restore the pre-collapse communications grid.
which they will appropriate for themselves, whoever finds
You're
it
not
first.
wrong.
That's the impression I get.
It doesn't take a genius to see that they all want one thing, to force their system or whatever on the rest of us. The world is doing just fine without a supreme leader.
We can't just walk away from this.
We can after we eliminate the leadership of these factions and destroy whatever it is J.C. Denton is building inside the statue.
You mean kill everybody on the island?
The leaders, the ones dragging the rest of the planet into this mess. J.C. Denton's utopia machine, whatever it is. I'm ready to back you up. Just give me an assignment.
Hang tight for now.
Whatever you say. I brought you something from Cairo, by the way. The biomod canister on the crate over there. It was a payment from the Omar. Personally, I'm done with biomodification. What's the problem? You scared?
Really, Leo? And that makes 11 and 11. I'm still not convinced that's all
What's
of
the
them.
problem? You scared?
Leo? Now, there are four normal endings to Deus Ex: Invisible War, and one joke ending, which we will try and get as well. The Illuminati are hanging out over here. God, that is actually a lot of them. I'm actually...
Primary objective, guard premises. Special target, Alex D.
I am
I
actually...
don't need you, Alex. I can restore Aquinas myself. I just sent my commandos into UNATCO to make sure you don't transmit the protocol data to the base.
Sure, Dumas. Sure. That's the Illuminati headquarters.
Got my attention now. Watch how well regret this. I'm going to... You have got my... I'm...
And then we quick save. Grab all the things I think we're gonna need. Mainly ammunition, because those Templars are not easy to take out.
Engaging in combat.
Stop a Templar!
I hear a spider bot. We appear to have eliminated most enemies at this point. He said the north side docks. But here's the thing, even as we've seen, even when recreating an original map from Deus Ex, it doesn't matter. The technology just is not here to recreate it properly. Even here, they had to split it into 2 halves. Technically 3, because I believe the interior is a separate map altogether, too. Well, we've eliminated everybody on this side. Let's see who's waiting for us on the other side. Besides, Tong said he wanted to speak to us. And there's the other bunker. If you remember that bunker. Friend robot.
Visual anomaly with this.
Yeah, robot. Robot friend should take care of him.
Threat probability negligible.
This.
Ah, yes, this is the shed.
Why aren't you at the statue at JC?
I can't leave these bots unattended, or they might fall into the hands of one of our enemies.
Are their legs frozen or something?
The bots are fine. It's cracked processors in the housing units that have prevented me from bringing them online. JC warned me that the eutactic nature of the statue reconstruction would require him to drop the temperature. But this is quite extraordinary.
How's he able to control the weather?
You can do it with a nanite sweater.
Of course, the
Those
nanites.
absorb kinetic energy, which is then emitted as light. By the time I arrived, though, the glow had subsided, so our choppers had no warning and crossed into the zone too quickly.
Can the housing units be repaired?
Yes, it's a simple repair. I just seem to have left Trio without any multi-tools.
Another biomod canister. Like I said, there's a lot of biomod canisters in the game. And we could bring the bots back online. We could do that. Or we can just leave them offline. Because there's not really a reason to. But yes, the North Docks. This is where that ship was. That was sunk. It'd be somewhere around here-ish, under the ice. Because this is where the trader was. Not the trader, the captain was. And this is partially the reason I sided with Apostle Corps so heavily. It's because bot friend.
So there's another Denton to worry about?
That's the word from command. Alex is their little brother, I guess. Just as dangerous, though, if not more so.
I'll keep an eye out.
You'd better be ready. After everything he's done to undermine the Grand Master's plans, he definitely wants this guy taken down.
Okay, that's actually not that useful.
Letting you off so easy.
Ow. There we go. Right, and they just explode, so they don't even drop ammunition packs. There's the old bunker. And even...
Warning. Know about your business.
the Illuminati's. They get smacked.
I'll resolve this. Left it in a source.
Meanwhile, this guy is going to get himself absolutely massacred if he gets in range of the robot. The slight exposure to chemical is it's bad, but it's not terrible. Ah, yes, the bunker. Which, considering when we played through Deus Ex, we came around this way, and we actually climbed up the Statue of Liberty on this side, just past the bunker. The map's not a perfect recreation. This is a bit too close to the bunker, but it's an understandable recreation. At least in my opinion. And the South Dock, because that's actually where we spawned. Images. South Dock, the Illuminati encampment's there. Statue entrance is here, North Dock's here. Yeah. They've literally split the map in half and made it slightly smaller. That's Sawman. That's the man himself. That's the man we need to keep alive. Like, that man we need to keep alive. Assuming we can even get that ending now. We might not be able to. I'm not sure. The denial of the blood sample may have tipped him into the unfavorable terms. Which would be disappointing, but also completely understandable. I think I remember having to do that to get that ending. If I'm remembering correctly. But I could be wrong. Regardless, we've now eliminated all major enemies on the map. The map is now clear. So we should check out that UNATCO headquarters, since that's all that is left.
Damage sustained.
On the bright side, the UNATCO headquarters, having been thoroughly abandoned, I believe is intact. It was no. I was very wrong. It is, in fact, not intact. It is a separate map. Because of course it would be. Ah, yes, the good old curving corridor. Yep, that's exact. That's Sid Black. No, that's just a bum.
Waiting for my chance.
And the fountain. The old scanner. Clearly it's been blown apart. The door. The old UNATCO flag. Laid on a hard save. The Aquinas control room, which was never a sign we saw.
Can't sneak up on me.
The old headquarters. The office there, both caved in.
Marksman. Hey, hear that? That's right. I'm looking at you, dude.
What can you tell me about this place?
Yeah, tell me.
What's to tell? It's where I live. 15 years now. I was the first one to show up. Guess it was abandoned during the collapse. I don't know what's going on out there, but this is my home, and I'm equipped for a fight if it comes to that.
Yeah? What kind of equipment do you have?
Just some things I scavenged from a couple of thugs a while back.
Oh, what do you got?
Raiding party or something? I guess you've been pretty good about avoiding my people so far. I'm selling some of this stuff if you're interested.
Oh, what do you got?
Business?
He's got frag mod, ammo clip, EMP grenades.
Maybe
None
another time.
of that's really gonna be useful.
You know where to find me if you...
What is this nonsense? Another guard trying to spook me?
The old JC room. The old JC office here. The old double control room. Pinball, the screen. The old board. The vending machines that would never give Herman exactly what he wanted. It has definitely seen better days. The cabinet of infinite strange items. The old vent thing that always had something good in it. The other one.
But now I'm paying attention.
Manderley's office.
Looks like it is gone. Whatever it was.
His hologram. It is so interesting to see it so both.
Reading of J.C. Tinton, but is your heart in it? Or are you tempted to share the Aquinas specification with us? We offer you your humanity, whereas he can give you nothing but a machine simulation of humanity.
So we have the Apostle Corps ending, the Kill Everyone ending, the Templar ending, and Repair the Bots. So that's 3 of the 4 endings has been revealed to us. The only one that hasn't is the Illuminati, because Chad insists on that he can do it himself. We all know that's not possible, Chad.
The zone seems to be clear now.
Seems to be.
Sorry.
Ouch! And that is exactly why we do not do that.
A small price for the sake of purity.
That's them all dead. I'm fairly certain. But there is a cleaner bot.
Alert. Cleaner bot present.
There is still a cleaner bot. Even all the way down here. The women's room has collapsed. The men's replaced with not even something that's feasibly decent. The Aquinas control room lies there. Navarra and Herman's office. The old armory. They did a good job of what complete devastation to an area and abandonment can look like. Though I'd say it looks like it's been more than 20 years. It is complete and utter abandonment. I'd say it's a pretty good representation of what the world of Deus Ex has been through in universe these last 20 years. Went from what we saw in Deus Ex to this, just falling apart at the seams. Someone needs to keep it around and save it. Question is who? That's another Templar dead. And the cells. Noisemaker grenades, even though there's no one left to even distract. Might as well. Black marker biomod canister. Might as well. The Illuminati claim they can do it without us. They claim they can solve this world without us. But look at what we've done. Just what Alex Denton can do. We just eliminated all of the enemies with no problem. And we've kept all but Billy of our terrorist colleagues free from their influences. It's like, what's there left for them to worry about? Well, what's there left for them to even work with?
It's not too late to avoid another collapse. Transmit the Aquinas specification to the WTO orbiting science platform Ophelia. Most of humanity wants to rebuild, Alex. Ignore them, and what are you fighting for? Not freedom, not democracy. Then what?
And there we are. The final ending unlocked. And of course, the Aquinas Protocol control room, where our good friend kept track of everything, listening on all the conversations. Also, this was what I was looking for in the original Deus Ex that I could never find. His hidden his hidden area right here. I could never find it. Because it's actually rather hard to find. The supply closet that always had things in it.
These machines were built before you were born. Would you
Yes,
like
they
some
were.
help figuring them out?
I can manage.
I remember a time when they were operational. They were the backbone of pre-collapse society.
Yes, they were.
Called it Aquinas. That's about all I need to know.
No one knew that name. By the 2050s, communications protocols had become successively more comprehensive and classified, until there was only one protocol, synonymous with all economic activity, yet managed by a very small group of people.
Didn't you get the message when I rescued Paul? If I bring the system up, it won't be for the Templars.
I am the only world leader who would use this network against machine evolution. Please, nothing but obsolescence awaits humanity if we go back to microsecond economics. Revive Aquinas and assign hub privileges to our computing center in Munich.
I'll think about it.
Do this for the Templars, then help us reconfigure JC's contraption to disperse a nanite capsid predator. And we will end the plague of biomodification once and for all.
He's not wrong. Though the computer has changed design significantly since Deus Ex, thanks to Invisible War's graphical upgrade. It always was kind of special. That machine there. The fact that it is the only hub left. That is all that's left of the hub. We have to decide now. Which of the endings shall we go for? There are the three main endings: the Illuminati, the Templars, and JC's ending. Plus the kill everybody ending. That's gonna be the most awkward one, to be honest. So let's start with the one that's going to cause the most problems. The Templars.
Just in time. Now make sure that both Dentons have been killed. Then step into JC Denton's machine inside the statue so that the ducts will be primed with your nanite capsid architecture. My scientists will do the rest.
We are now on the Templar ending. And he's right. We have to kill the Dentons in order to... Jesus! Of course the Illuminati would be there.
Eliminate source of disturbance.
They're almost as bad as the Men in Black, these Illuminati soldiers. It is time for war. As JC said. He does not expect us to leave here alive. After all, why would we leave here alive? He knows we have to kill him. And they are probably the hardest set of enemies to kill. Let's not lie. Leo. We could use your help, good buddy.
What's the problem? I'm tired of standing around. Let's do this.
Yeah. Let's wipe out the Dentons.
I want to wipe out the Dentons.
Here we go.
Let's go, Leo. It's not going to be easy. Paul and JC are both extremely powerful biomodded individuals. JC in particular, with his near godlike powers, is going to be a problem. Like, there's no way this is going to go nicely for us. For anyone.
I will have to take your biomod materials by force.
System disruption significant.
I'm not sure which Denton I just killed, but I did just kill a Denton.
Engaging auxiliary components.
Take that out. I think that may have been JC we just killed. I think that was JC we killed. They are tough. They are very strong. But they only partially recreated the basic interior of the building. Just this bit here. Tong. Sorry, Tracer.
Just exercise that second soul, nanites. You shall be and so shall humanity.
See, Paul left a body. JC did not. It is time. For the ending where the Templars win.
No. The Templars are destroying the Helios core. Satisfied, Alex? I'm mortal like you again. Helios won't be able to save me this time, but I don't plan to be the one who needs saving.
There's nothing wrong with being human. Apparently you lost sight of that long ago.
You're wrong. Everything I've built, including you, was meant to ensure the survival of humanity. Like it or not, intelligent life will evolve to the next level. With or without us.
With or without one of us, you mean? I'm a Knight Templar now. May purity prevail.
And strength don't interfere. Is dead.
Ooh, we barely survived that. That's what rockets will do. With Denton now dead, with JC, with both Dentons now dead. It is time for the third Denton to do the same.
Good citizens, paladins, we have won! Allow me this allegory. Our forebears would say that we have at last reached the Delectable Mountains. Yes, well, we have conquered these mountains, and soon not one hill will have a name other than Clear. We have burned the land clean. What cells of disease remain are few in number and short on time. But friends, citizens, I tell you today that we have a new enemy. The enemy's name is Error, and it stands tall against the horizon. This new enemy is all too human. But we will act now, before these traitors spread their disease to other susceptible minds.
He that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So that's the Templar ending. That's the Templar ending. We'll go into my thoughts on the exact endings and the overtones of Invisible War once we've seen all the endings. So what about the Illuminati?
Technicians on Ophelia are already configuring the first operational Aquinas hub in a generation, one which is in orbit and safe from tampering. Now make sure that both Denton brothers are dead and destroy their illegal machine.
And once again, we have to kill the Dentons. Again. 2 of the 3 endings do require us to kill them.
You just gave the world another 20 years of chaos. You have broken from me completely. Do not expect to leave the island alive.
You said that before, JC. But he has no soldiers. He has no soldiers. Can't even muster anyone to block us at the entrance here.
Irredeemable. You're absolutely irredeemable. Prepare yourself for the grave.
Let's go grab Leo again and kill the Dentons a second time. Ammo. Great. Yeah, I know these things use up far too much ammunition. Leo, my friend, came to our help.
Turned out to have some guts after all. I'm tired of standing around.
I want to wipe out the dent.
Here we go.
However, I don't have a lot of ammunition. This is a problem. And of course, he didn't drop any ammunition either. We're actually out of ammunition, and that is... It's not necessarily a problem, but it is going to be not easy. They didn't have any ammunition back here, did they? Ah. That's an EMP grenade. Yeah, but no ammunition. Explosive time, I think. If I can, like...
Take your biomod materials by force.
Analyzing system damage. Sustained damage. Systems failure.
Sorry, Paul.
Can't be.
Who'd have thought? 1 minute I'm a nothing trainee, then
Yep.
the fate of the world all depends on what I decide to do. Man,
Correct.
it's cold.
Correct.
Read the field, then make your move.
Enemy injured.
They won't know what. Who'd have thought? 1 minute I'm a nothing trainee, then the fate of the world all
Thank you, Leo. My man. He's actually come in clutch this time. Several times, in fact. Leo has come in handy several clutch times. He'll probably come in real clutch when JC shows up here at the end again.
Historians no longer doubt that an event such as the collapse was necessary for the emergence of our global democratic state. How else would everyone, high and low, have been convinced to embrace communal scrutiny? It's hard to believe, but prior to 2052, humans lived in armed encampments of hundreds of millions of people. Now, after a century of peace, our great cities flourish. Enormous towers command the landscape on every continent. 1 trillion transactions per second. So much inscrutable activity. Yet we are united, at peace, and free. We owe it all to Ophelia, a name we all know. But what is Ophelia? A system? A place? We all know her name, yet our leaders deny that she even exists. Believe, citizens. Believe in the creator of our world. Is it wrong to love a being you cannot see? Such belief is the highest faculty a human being can develop. If you doubt that she exists, just look around. Look at all she has made.
The formation of knowledge and of the increase of power regularly reinforce one another. And that is the Illuminati ending. Since we've already killed the Dentons several times, and we know the locations of all of the main actors, what if we just killed them all? One last murder of the Dentons, it can't hurt. I might want to buy that ammunition pack. It's not like I have a reason not
Tell me
to.
about-
What's to tell? It's where I live.
Yeah?
Just some things I scavenged from a couple. Want to do business?
Give me the ammo.
What a happy.
It was quite literally one ammo clip. And like I said, these high-end weapons use a lot of ammunition. Like stupid amounts.
They always have to kick me when I'm down.
It's half the reason you go with the melee mods in Invisible War is because the weapons are just obscene. They are just obscene. So let's start. Let's begin with the death of the Illuminati. Chad and Claire. Nicolette Duclair. The two Illuminatis who have somehow survived. Though we're not sure how. Their deaths will be most glorious.
Initiating repairs. Repairs complete. Is Alpha. Damage sustained. Unconscious body. I'm going.
It's poison.
Nicolette is dead.
It's poison.
The Illuminati are now dead. In a very brutal and yet oddly poetic way. Killed by their own poisons from their own soldiers. Really? A shame. But also poetic. In a way. They had, of course, Frankenstein. A bottle of wine prepared. Just in case. And of course, another biomod canister. And we could have, of course, broken in and assassinated them, but we're so strong, we're so powerful, it doesn't matter whether or not we do. The Illuminati are now dead.
Repairing damage. Functionality restored.
Now all that's left is the Templar, Saman, then one last go at the Dentons. And we actually have a lot more ammunition this time around. Yes, I'm saving the Denton ending probably for last. Because we've set it up to be the easiest to accomplish. You can hear the mutterings. The mutterings of psionic beings. Hello. And goodbye. You made a mistake. Not killing me when you had the chance. Of course, Tracer could be considered one of the leaders. Probably, possibly. All that we have done is we could still get JC's endings. We've eliminated the other endings. That bot is not worth keeping around. And these are the robots, of course, that end up at the front of the Statue of Liberty, so Tracer Tong gets them going regardless. Not if he's dead, he can't. And without the additional bots to reinforce, well, there's just the two Dentons. The two Dentons. Well, not the two Dentons. I should say, the three Dentons and Leo. They're still friendly. Showing once again that Tracer Tong, much like anyone to to both Paul and JC are nothing but tools, really. He wasn't even really one of the leaders. Why would he be? He was always kind of expendable.
What's the problem? I'm tired of standing around.
I want to wipe out the...
Come on,
Here we
Leo.
go.
It is time. I have you with me, for these two are the worst of the bunch. Heavily biomodded, much like you and I, but far worse. One of them is still hooked up to Helios. And that is worse.
In Antarctica, you helped our kind. JC tells us you are his ally as well.
Take down the turrets, because they cause problems. Come on, Leo. Tell me you can outlast.
I'm short on patience for this sort of thing.
This will be a simple.
Leo, what was that for? Oh, of course we didn't save. We didn't even quick save, so we gotta do that ending from the beginning. I knew I should have saved. I knew things were going too well with that, with the endings having been no big deal. I was not expecting Leo to turn on me. Of course, this is probably the hardest ending technically to get, but could be worse. Of course, it's only the worst when you have to kill everybody. First person to eliminate would be the Illuminati. Of course, Salmon's just living in his little hidden base. Not like he really matters.
Initiating repairs. Functionality restored.
You can always just sneak in.
This is an investigation. Violation of progress. You will regret this. Break probability high. Repairing damage. Repairs complete.
There's Nicolette's body. Oh, there's Cad. Cad is now dead too. They're the easiest to take out. Well, actually, Templar Man's the easiest because I eliminated all his guards. He will be the second easiest to eliminate. Floating robot. He needed to stop defying physics, that robot. Leo provides a very good distraction, to be honest. He really did prove to be a very good distraction, so we'll pull off that strategy again. And then we get to see what the world is like without any of these factions that are attempting to hold the world in a way. Saman is now dead. And now to grab Leo, so he can provide a proper distraction out front while we disable all the robots inside.
What's the problem? You scared? I'm tired of standing.
I want to wipe out.
Come along, Leo.
Here we go.
Let's do this. Come along, my friend. There you are. Here he comes. He will provide. Oh God, that was a huge vertical.
In Antarctica, you helped our kind.
Welcome. It's hard to believe that
Are you sure we can trust JC? Even
this is what we've been working toward ever since I uncovered.
he intends to give every human.
His vision isn't easy to.
We'll worry about that when we get the proper ending.
Now we'll settle this.
Ouch! Leo was not there to assist us.
Here we go.
Let's go, Leo. Let's do this a bit properly this time. And not worry so much about the machines that are inside. They really don't matter. Not really. Leo. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that was going so good, too. Bloody robot got me.
Here we go.
Let's try that again. Like, I was not kidding when I said the Dentons are the most heavily guarded of the bunch. They really, really, really are. Of course, it doesn't help that I was throwing grenades right at my feet, damaging me as much as them.
Antarctica. You helped our kind. JC tells us you are his ally as well. Welcome.
I'm not so sure about that.
Turned out to have some guts after all.
This area is protected. You have been identified as a threat. Access denied.
Who'd have thought? 1 minute I'm a nothing trainee, then the fate of the world all depends.
Turn back.
You were completely right, Leo. With all them dead, all that's left. One machine. 2 rockets.
You are destroying the Helios core. Sounds fine, Alice. From mortal like you again. Helios won't be able to save me this time. But I don't plan to be the one who needs saving. You want to plunge the world into chaos? Come and take it from me. I've reclaimed the Statue of Liberty for all of humanity. What? No. Can't be. This will be a simple
Achievement. You do not even comprehend today's significance for the future of this planet, but you have our gratitude. A discount will be applied to all of your business transactions with our agents anywhere in the world.
Man, it's cold.
And with that,
After the Great Collapse, only the mighty survived. 2 centuries of war saw the rise and fall of many empires. It was the age of heroes, the battle-fired crucible of all subsequent history. In the end, the Earth was no longer green. Nothing survived on its surface other than a few embers of humankind. But from this crucible emerged the masterworks of evolution. They were fit not just for the new Earth, but for the most barren corners of creation.
the Omar.
The glory of humanity would henceforward stretch on, through time and space, to the vanishing point of eternity.
That is the kill everyone ending. That's a reply to an ambition that she is herself that gives us a taste for solitude. That's 3 of the endings. There's but 1 left. Oh, technically 2, but... there's a 5th ending. There's but 1 normal ending. to JC himself.
I need a direct interface with your biomodifications in order to structure Helios properly. To be the center of a civilization, an electronic mind must mirror the intelligences of the citizens. We will be the models.
Make way.
Hello.
They will try and throw what they have left at us, and it's not going to be that much.
Irredeemable. You're absolutely irredeemable. Prepare yourself for the grave.
While the others may throw what they can at us, it's going to be less than what they think. All we have to do is make it to the main center. Which is not hard when you're invisible. 3 Templars.
I wish I could get better assignments.
Summon himself. Does not matter. Alright, Paul, let's hear you out.
In Antarctica, you helped us.
You have the Aquinas Protocol, and here I am. Your enemies are defeated.
I have no enemies, merely topographies of ignorance. The people drift aimlessly, collecting into clans wherever they find a glimmer of knowledge.
You don't sound worried.
No, he
Helios
doesn't.
has regained its hub privileges. Step into the infusion chamber, and the nanites in your body will be replicated in the air and ultimately in the bloodstreams of every last human being.
Welcome. It's hard to believe that our hard work...
Yes, Paul.
Are you sure we can trust JC, even after the merger in Antarctica? Have you looked around? All he's done. I have to wonder about his sanity.
This is what we've been working toward ever since I uncovered the truth about UNATCO and MJ-12, even if I didn't realize it at the time. I trust his vision.
He intends to give every human being a nanite infusion. That doesn't
That's
seem
true.
drastic to you?
His vision isn't easy to comprehend because he's operating on a higher level now. We just have to trust his wisdom, and soon we'll all share in it.
Perhaps the easiest ending to acquire if you stick with Apostle Core, which the story kind of forces you to anyway.
Step into the chamber. It's time.
It is time to ascend.
Helios will speak. Year of our union, 125. Our consensus remains clear. Yes, we will prolong this 2nd century of peace. Economic automation is complete. Our research will now encompass other frontiers. Yes, this is the consensus we have created. Our unity will soon be absolute. The remaining boundaries are vanishing. Yes, share your mind with everyone. Open yourself. Your needs are the needs of all. Let us understand and be transformed. Yes, transform each other and transform yourselves. The only frontier that has ever existed is the self. Helios has spoken.
It really is of importance, not only what men do, but also the manner in which they do it. I'm gonna get that a full quote, because that's a big one. Yeah, there it is. It really is of importance, not only what men do, but also what manner of men they are that do it. Among the works of men, the first importance, surely, is man itself. There is a 5th joke ending, and it is really a joke ending. We have to find somewhere on this map, or one of these maps, a U.S. flag. Apparently there's one somewhere in here, and I think it's probably back here, if anywhere. No. No. I'm not actually sure where the flag is. But while we search for it, we may as well discuss the endings. Let's discuss the endings, and in particular, why I am, in particular, consider Deus Ex Invisible War the lesser of the two original Deus Ex games. And that mainly revolves around its... I don't know if you necessarily picked up on this. It's severely heavy-handed religious overtones. It is very obvious. Very, very obvious how heavy-handed they are with it. It is rather extreme. You can tell that just by, you know... It is exceptionally heavy-handed in it. Not just with the Templars or anything, but it's also... It is...
I can hack it.
Let's discuss the endings in particular. Templars, very obvious with its severe-handedness. What religious extremism can do when it stops caring about your fellow man, and they become the problem.
There's just something wrong with that whole damn machine.
And that is the Templar ending. Very, very heavy in that. It's like it is on the nose.
I need to get more sleep.
Like very on the nose. Very heavy-handed. It's plainly obvious. Then we have the Illuminati ending. This one is a little bit less religiously overtoned, but is still related enough for me to be like, okay. This is more... It's more subtle, but it is much more... What's specific? It's more along the lines of the Roman Catholic Church in medieval history and its subtleties in which it exercised its powers across the monarchies of Europe. Much more along that line. I didn't see this data cube. Oh. Much more along that line. And then we have the Denton ending. The Denton ending. Which is... which is much more... that one is much more an interpretation, a very loose interpretation, mind you, of a more traditional view of Christian heaven, but with a weird techno twist on it that is not anything new, but also kind of interesting. And then there's, of course, if I cannot find this flag for the life of me. I may have accidentally blown it up, which would be a shame. But, and then there's the Omar ending, which is very plainly... that one has almost no real religious overtones to it, to be honest. Although you could possibly argue... I'm pretty sure this is not the proper flag. Yeah, not the one. Yeah, I don't know what the flag is we're looking for. But also could be argued as possibly a more atheistic viewpoint, as pure no guiding force behind humanity. What could be the result of that? Do I necessarily agree with that particular interpretation? It's one interpretation, that much is certain. But also, they very clearly took a much more religious overtone in Invisible War than they did with the original Deus Ex. It is, granted, some of these characters like Paul and JC, they inherited from... these were inherited from Deus Ex. But it's also in their names. Deus Ex was a bit more subtle about its messianic messaging when it came to J.C. Denton than Invisible War ever wishes it could be. And especially with Paul picking up the role of primary mover and shaker while JC is gone and awaiting his return. It's pretty clear. It's a bit on the nose, in my opinion. And that's part of the reason I find Invisible War so lacking. It's not the only reason, mind you. There were, like I said, JC and Paul were inherited from the original Deus Ex. So you can't really fault them there for those sections of overtones. But Deus Ex was a lot more subtle about it. It does have other technical faults, Invisible War does. So we'll talk more about those instead. One, and this is the biggest issue, you see it here on Liberty Island the most. An attempted recreation of an entire level from the original Deus Ex. And it is 3 maps, technically 4, whereas the original Deus Ex started out with them all on one island, plus you had the entire statue above, and it was just so much larger, the map. So much larger, so much more detailed, so much more intricate, and you had more than a dozen actors on the map. And that's its biggest failing, is it was designed for a very inferior, not only for the time, just in general, hardware device. The level complexity was, the geometry was improved, but level size was lost so heavily. Imagine what they could have done if they'd kept the level complexities of the original Deus Ex in this engine. It would have been so much better. It would have been so much better. Also, the game itself. Its focus... That's what I thought. Its focus on biomods. I'm not meaning to do that. Its focus on these biomod canisters as being the primary upgrade architecture, and you get so many of them. It's lacking a reward structure for a game of this length. It really does. We've been at maximum capacity for several streams now. And this also brings another problem into focus. And again, this probably ties mostly to the hardware it was designed on, which was for the original Xbox. Was and is its play length. It is a much shorter game than the original Deus Ex. The writing reveals happen so quick after another that there's nothing to sink in. There's no universe, no world with which to really embed yourself, because you're just jumping from quick plotline reveal to quick plotline reveal. You start off with the WTO and the Order, but they quickly get supplanted with, hey, these two really don't like each other, but they've got this common enemy in this Apostle Corps. Oh, by the way, these two are one and the same. You hear about these Templars a little bit, this offshoot of the Order, but they're not going to cause that much of a problem, and only they do cause a problem. A very, very severe problem. That just... and then that rapidly revolves into, yeah, these,
In Antarctica, you helped our kind. JC tells us you are done as well.
It just, there's not enough time spent to make the sudden twists and turns worth anything. Because they're really not. Like, they're really not worth anything. Like in Deus Ex, it takes longer to get them revealed for them to mean anything. Paul's sudden betrayal is not explained away. It's not explained away quickly. You know, you have to go pursue him, JC. Then you have to protect him, and then there's just so many other steps that are along the way that Invisible War could have used some of these similar reveals these similar pacings. Its pacing is too condensed. Part of that is there's no real, until they introduce the Paladin Templars and the robots, not really an enemy that can really hurt you that much. The design decision to focus all the weapons into one ammo category is great, other than the fact they are so heavy. Your heavy weapons use up so much ammo, you'll get 5 or 6 shots out of them before you're out of ammunition, and then there's not enough ammunition on the map to refill you. Because there's not enough enemies that carry enough ammunition. Like, there's some severe design problems here that they designed themselves into by focusing on the hardware they focused on when they designed this, which other games designed for this hardware did not have, mind you. A reminder, the original Halo was designed for the Xbox. And is of a similar nature, quote-unquote, first-person shooter. The level design, the levels are larger, much more complex. Many more enemies and actors on screen. Invisible War suffers from a lot of small design decisions that they made for reasons I don't really get. And it's such a sharp departure from the original Deus Ex. Not necessarily in tone, although the extreme religious overtones do kind of set this one apart from the others. But it has the design problems. And these are design problems that when Human Revolution came out, they didn't have these problems. Granted, that was like many years later, but Invisible War suffers from design problems. Now, if I had to rank all these Deus Ex games, because we've played them all back to back to back to back. We started with Human Revolution, Mankind Divided, the original Deus Ex, and now we're ending on Invisible War. What do I think? Have they held up? Some of them have, some of them have not. Honestly, when I remember when Human Revolution came out, there were people concerned that the direction they went, like with the third person over the shoulder hiding camera and the hacking minigame and things like that, that they were going to lose the essence of what made Deus Ex as a game so good. And having played all 4 in once, I'd say, in order of Deus Ex-like Deus Ex games, I'd actually put Mankind Divided, Human Revolution, the original Deus Ex, and then Invisible War in that order. Because Mankind Divided is probably the most Deus Ex-y really a game ever, the series really ever got. It's the best refinement and expansion of that the series ever got. Which is an absolute shame we never got the 3rd game in that series. Absolute shame. Because I imagine that one would have been even better. But what can you do? We can't help that. Human Revolution has some quibbles. mostly around some weird texturing and lighting issues that it has. Honestly, I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't remember it looking quite so off when I first played it. So clearly something has gone wrong with time as technology has moved on. But I was actually rather surprised at how Deus Ex, the original one, has held up. Its pacing is as expected. Its voice acting it has flaws. I'm not going to say Deus Ex doesn't. If you go into the game not knowing how you're going to build your character and you build them wrong, like investing in swimming at all, it causes a lot of problems. It really does. But if you know what you're getting in for and you come in with a idea of what you want to build towards, Deus Ex is actually very open and very fluid and very allowing you to do what you want. Though I've never tried a run and gun Deus Ex method playthrough, I imagine it'd be rather fun. You'd actually get to use up all that ammunition you tend to carry around. Which again makes Invisible War the black sheep of the family. While, yes, you can approach many of these situations stealthily, you can. Or you could just knock everyone out. I mean, you could do that when the other Deus Ex games also no problem. But you could kill everybody. What's the difference? Well, there's only like 6 to maybe 10 enemies on a map. It's actually not hard to do when the maps are so small, so constrained, and there's so few enemies. Like, there's not a lot of ways to approach a lot of these problems, especially towards the later half of the game where they kind of just rush you into these things. And then, as I've mentioned, the design focus on the united ammo pool and its overall balancing being not great. The focus on the limited biomods, which Deus Ex had a limited number of biomods too. But you don't end up with this many excess. I mean, I could respec my character 2 or 3 different times. Never needed to, but I could. You could argue that was for experimentation purposes, and you'd not be wrong. Or the ability to adapt your build on the fly. Except the game's not designed to handle that. It's not designed around that. It really isn't. So, as a franchise, I'd like to see more. I really would. I hope one day we get to see another Deus Ex style game. Maybe one day. And I'll have to check out the Dishonored series. I have at least Dishonored 1, if not Dishonored 2, in the library. I've heard that was pretty good. But for a game about conspiracy theories, the original Deus Ex had that. And realistically, I divide the franchise in 2, because realistically, outside of the religious theming that's very heavily prevalent in Invisible War, there is a thematic difference between the 2 halves of the series. And it's particularly on the focus of augmentation and the reaction to it. The consequences of it, the impacts it has. The original Deus Ex and Invisible War are more focused on what these things do to society from a societal level, from a large-scale overview. Much less concerned about the intricacies, the individual impacts on individuals, those types of things. Whereas Human Revolution and Mankind Divided have those exact same things and what it does to society, but not from the perspective, the high-level perspective of this is what happens with society. No, it's more, hi, Kyo, how's it going? Just wrapping up here. My thoughts on the Deus Ex series. As I was saying, Human Revolution and Mankind Divided focus more on what that kind of augmentation does to a person, to people. Not society as a whole, although you do see that in Mankind Divided. It's more focused on what that does to the individuals. And that's a very interesting thought difference to make between the 4 games. Oh, yeah, you're well at the tail end. Yeah, we're well at the tail end. I've gotten all 4 of the main endings. I can't find the necessary literal flag I need to show off the joke ending. Which, that's fine. You think it'd be easy finding an American flag on Liberty Island, but there isn't one that I can easily find. I figured it would be a short stream, less than 2 hours, as to be expected. These maps, and again, it's an entirely terrible design decision that the maps are so small. I could just imagine what they could do if it was just larger. If they could have made things better. I guess that's what happens when you're not Bungie. That's what happens when you're not Bungie. And so, having said all that, it's not, as a game, it's not terrible. Especially if you get, like, a couple of the mods that make the game run better. It's not bad. It's not like it crashed on us constantly, which we had, like, 2 major crashes in Deus Ex. Mankind Divided, the most recent Deus Ex game, crashes constantly if you're doing things wrong. So it's not the most technically incompetent of the games. And it's not necessarily a terrible game. But for a game to bear the name Deus Ex, there's a reason we didn't get another one after Invisible War until Human Revolution. It may have been received warmly in general in the press and in a lot of things, but there's a reason it's probably the least, in my opinion, the least quality Deus Ex game of the bunch. But it's not a bad game. It's just a bad Deus Ex game. Which is a sad thing to see. But having said all that, I'll get the schedule made and posted sometime tonight. We'll be getting into Romancing Saga 2 next, as per the schedule. We were supposed to start it this week, but shenanigans keep happening. Only to get interrupted by, not this upcoming week, but the week after on the 27th, Final Fantasy XIV's Occult Crescent comes out. So we get 2 streams of Romancing Saga 2, picking up exactly where the demo left off. And then we get interrupted by 14 again. Isn't that always the case? Isn't that always the case? I'll see you all next time. Till then.